can make time traveling a surprise. Make graveyards.
Hey there, rookie. Accessibility settings. Accessibility settings.
You can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds and the trees in the morning, or roll like the storms way over the ocean. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Even on the days when I'm late as ever, my timing is right. Even in the darkest moments, stay close, I'm that shining the light. I can make an earthquake nervous. I can make the sun wear a visor. I can make a...
This is a special presentation of EA Sports from the Coliseum in Oakland. Our trip. And wow, a gamble here right off the bat, an onside kick to begin the game.
No mames.
Travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
They'll throw on first down with Favre. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So as we mentioned at the top, let's take you through the life of John Madden. And, you know, it's very fitting that we're here back in the Bay Area, not just because John's so associated with Raider football, but he's got a man complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders. Pushes him over. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run for it here with Dickerson. And he is in. Touchdown NFC. Eric Dickerson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the NFC has taken the early lead. Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. And Hall not going to bring this one out. So, Charles, as mentioned, we've got another Coach Madden over here on the AFC sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. And you think about the landscape of the NFL as he was getting into the back half of his tenure. It was a golden era for coaches. You had Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bud Grant. But it was John Madden who had the best winning percentage of them all, CD. 759, the best ever.
Brandon, it's hard to believe he could be so successful in a conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough. The Broncos came on late and went to a Super Bowl themselves. But against Hall of Fame coaches, John Madden's record, 36, 16, and 2. That's pretty incredible. His Raiders were a factor each and every year.
So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would.
Oh, that would have been a sick as fuck
So getting
pass,
a
bro.
7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
From the shotgun, it's Favre.
Oh!
And that'll be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Favre. He's going to try and go deep again.
Hijos.
That one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the...
And now the
No,
man
man.
has it. It's a fake. I know, without even asking, without even looking in your direction, that you are not a fan of that call.
Oh, I wish you would look, Brandon, because I was actually thinking this would be the perfect time for a fake.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. This deep in your own territory. Look, I'm all for being unconventional. That part's cool, and I get it. But this deep, I just don't think it was the right time to make that call.
I'm gonna go ask some Coach Madden.
Now Allen. He'll take it inside the 25. But Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st-round draft pick back in 1958. Was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp. Actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles, you and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles with quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, the future Hall of Famer and future head coach in the NFL. Remember, Van Brocklin coached with the Falcons. He coached with the Vikings. It was there during that time. I think Coach Madden realized his love of football and love for teaching, combining all that together, and that meant being a football coach. So in 1960, began his coaching career at a small college south of San Luis Obispo called Allen Hancock, and then later at San Diego State University under another legendary coach.
Flag, what the fuck?
Pretty well, Don Coryell.
Well, we talk a lot about referees trying to protect quarterbacks, and no question they're going to protect number 12.
And really, truly, around the league, the intent is to protect all quarterbacks. It's just common sense. Those are the guys everyone comes to see play each and every week. And that call was pretty easy.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. On the toss, here's Allen. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Brady. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning. Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
The NFC offense coming out here, and you know, Charles, Coach Madden always said that if he had one drive to win a game and he had to pick a quarterback, he would pick Kenny Stabler. But I think if you asked him to omit any of his Raiders players, there's a good chance the guy he'd select would be Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is always smiling. He's always laughing. He's always talking to someone. He remembers that it's a game, and if it's a game, you should have fun.
And Brandon, that always reminds me of a great movie line where one of the players was telling a coach, every time I say it's a game, you say it's a business, and every time I say it's a business, you say it's a game. With Coach, it was always a game.
Favre on second down. And this one is incomplete. Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course, and the two, they really bonded, would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
Yeah, in 1967, Brandon, Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL at that point. We had not merged totally with the NFL. And Coach Madden, he paid dividends almost immediately. Helped the Raiders win the AFL title in 1968. And that meant a date with the Green Bay Packers in what was now known as Super Bowl II. But by 1969, at the age of 32, just 32, Brandon, John Madden assumed the mantle of head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And what a ride he, the Raiders, and the NFL were about to go on.
Charles, you talked about John Madden and the Raiders going on a ride. Well, try these numbers on for size. In 10 seasons as a head coach, the Raiders won their division 7 times. They finished second the other 3 times, and he became the youngest coach to amass 100 career regular season victories and is still, to this day, the franchise leader in wins.
And when you think about it, that's where that rivalry with Kansas City really took root, as did the expression commitment to excellence. And boy, was it personified by the players who played for Coach Madden. On offense, how about quarterback Kenny Stabler, wide receiver Cliff Branch, wide receiver Fred Biletnikoff, tight end Dave Casper, to name a few. How about those great linemen he had? Center Jim Otto, guard Gene Upshaw, tackle Art Shell, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And guys on the...
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. A 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. After the made field goal, Anderson back out to kick it away. Dante Hall going to bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The offense for the AFC set to go now. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit.
Coming up in the second half, we'll run through John's post-coaching triumphs, but for now, we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley. The AFC going to get the football first here as we are back underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Brady now on first down. Gates with a grab. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So now, Charles, to pick up the story we've been telling, John Madden at 42. He had just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on with CBS in 1979 to try his hand at broadcasting. And much like his coaching career, he was pretty much an instant success.
Partner, he really connected with the people right from the start, and people may not remember, he wasn't even on the #1 team in the beginning. He worked his way up. But the same things that made him a great coach made him a great broadcaster. The ability to show the big picture, yet break it down into the details. That's what he did with his teams. That's what he did with the people. That way, he was simple to understand, yet insightful for viewers. And he did with that big personality that he had, one that connected with everyone.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try and pound it with a big back Bettis. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. So for Coach Madden, Charles, by 1981, his broadcasting career is really taking off. He's elevated to the network's #1 booth that calls all the big matchups. And he gets the plum assignment of calling Super Bowl 16, 49ers and Bengals, and he's teamed up with Pat Summerall. And that pairing ultimately would go on to be one of the most influential in sports broadcasting history.
Influential not just in us listening to them. Remember, they went on and called 8 Super Bowls together. But how they put together kind of the template that all of us broadcasters follow now. Sitting down with the head coaches and the quarterbacks and the stars of each team before a ball game to get extra information. And the way that those two paired together, Pat Summerall, short, concise, to the point, and turned it over to Coach Madden to fill in all the big details.
Mike Singletary, the one to bring him down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. So through 3 quarters of the John Madden legacy game, it's the NFC Stars and young Coach Madden on top. And we'll be back to the Coliseum after this. They keep it on the ground. Allen again. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. The field goal we just saw has us now at a one-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? Might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. To throw is Favre. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. As you mentioned, CD, talking about John Madden, the broadcaster, he called 8 Super Bowls with Pat Summerall, 3 more with Al Michaels later. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Now to try to add the extra point, the lefty Anderson. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. No run back here for Hall, and this will come out to the 25. The offense for the AFC set to go now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder, puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Brady. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a sack under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Past the 20. And touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 85 yards. And the AFC able to cut into the lead. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. A little less than 90 seconds to go. This will be an onside kick. Oh, and I think the AFC got it. Yes, they did. So they've accomplished half the mission, Charles. They get the onside kick. They do need a touchdown here, but they've got some time to do it.
In the excitement, there's no need to press. Plenty of time. They have the opportunity.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Brady's saying, let's go, as he'll hustle him to the line. He finds his man complete. It's Gonzalez. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
And they'll work this down inside the 30. To throw is Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Brady to throw. And this will be caught. Touchdown. So in the final minute here, now a two-point conversion will tie the game. Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. And he's going to get into the end zone. The two-point conversion successful, and we've got ourselves a tie football game. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
He'll buy some time right. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Now they're just trying to do anything possible to try and get the ball downfield and get into field goal range.
And with that clock dwindling, they felt the need to take a pretty big shot there. Unfortunately, couldn't complete it. On third down, they turn to Sanders. And he is going to be brought down. And now making matters more dire, this is going to be fourth down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a fourth down. They're going on fourth down. It's Favre. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. How fitting is this? Extra football at the Coliseum. Let's just keep playing. Back underway in the John Madden Legacy game. Hester to return from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Throwing is Favre. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get.
Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. It's a gain of 34. Explosion plays always break the back of a defense, and overtime to put them in the red zone, that was huge.
I like your description there, because when you get an explosion play, now people are really scrambling on defense. Now they're looking to each other. Who's going to step up? Who's going to make a play? Offensive guys have the momentum. Now they're in the red zone. They've got to be thinking attack, trying to get it into the end zone.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. Now Favre. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Favre to throw. And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. And absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime. So the game-winning touchdown came through the air in overtime. 4 quarters wasn't enough. We were treated to a really good one, weren't we, partner?
That we were, and I just love being able to be witness to a game like this. All the way through. Who's going to win it? Oh, what? We're getting overtime? Great for us. A lot of tension on the field. Very tough. Not a surprise it ended with a passing touchdown. That's the way we play in the NFL. But the execution was pretty darn good.
Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And some room to roam now. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Well, this looks like a roughing call. In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
That would give running left. It's Bettis. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free.
Touchdown!
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the podcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Now, first down carry by Sanders, well defensed as they'll hold him to just a couple. Second down coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. Going up top for Kupp. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
They'll try and throw for it with Favre. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The NFC's decision to go for it does not pan out. And the AFC is going to get the football back in great field position. Now a give up the middle to Bettis. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, they'll run with Bettis. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Now a timeout called for by the offense. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. So it comes down to a man who has done this many, many times before, Adam Vinatieri. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And this home crowd is in a frenzy. So a thrilling finish here in overtime to a game that no one wanted to see end. And for all of us at EA Sports, one final look back as we